I mean, have you seen any of the clips where she's getting like beat up on court, like elbow to the face? There's this one clip. You see that one clip where she get hit and she like rolled like 15 feet to the center of the court? I'm like, come on.
I saw the one where it was the block and then the snake bite little bit to the eye.
To the eye?
What are you doing, man?
Right? Yeah.
Like, how is...
Yeah. And yet she takes it so gracefully.
Welcome to another episode of Don Draper's Den. In this podcast, we discuss branding and marketing and how it touches so many different aspects of our lives. We also talk about your trash, about food and culture and music and so much more. We do hope that you're entertained and can gain some insight from two marketing industry professionals. I'm Chris, and this is Ernie. In this podcast, we get into zombies, space heaters in the office, Caitlin Clark and her impact on the WNBA. As always, please share, comment, subscribe, help us blow this thing up. We appreciate the support. With that, without further ado, pour yourself a glass. Well, let's jump into this.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers. So the ick is going around, man. All right, we got things to talk about.
Don't tell me that.
Olivia's sick. Poor Olivia.
Yeah.
I thought,
Hannah had it like last week. Well, your daughter has it.
Cecilia's got it. Yeah, she's
and we don't know what is it. A fever, flu,
the rock and roll fever.
The
only cure is
COVID.
cowbell.
I have no idea.
Yeah, who knows? It could be the Rona. I don't know. Whatever it is.
I'm quarantined myself in my office. I think I'm just gonna stay in here. Just feed me under the door,
dude. I
hate getting sick. Dude. I hate it.
Sick. Yeah. It's the worst because I'm down. My productivity is down.
Mm-hmm.
I can't answer any questions. I just can't do anything.
Yeah.
Oh. God,
and then to make matters worse, it's getting colder, overcast, so that just doesn't.
Inside.
You're stuck inside.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, just locked in.
Yep.
And then the air, I got to get my my humidifier out. These are like first world problems. Our lives are obviously very okay.
Yeah, right.
Everything's
sounding
fine.
really lame right now.
Yeah.
Like, it's getting cold.
I have to get a blanket.
Yeah.
No. But I do have to get a blanket.
Right.
And yeah.
I gotta pull out our heated comforter.
Even in the office. That's a strange dynamic. I didn't get why.
Right.
Maybe one day we'll do like an office walkthrough or something. But the under the desks, there's a bunch of heaters in here because of for many reasons. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But the point is, I'm going to eventually cave and have to get the blanket out and just hand in my man card.
And you're going to have to because
does it get
I'll be ashamed of you. No.
In here?
No. I'm
like
always
a bear
hot.
Or something,
all of you are always cold in the office. I'm always hot. I don't even know how we don't blow circuits like
with all the heaters. That's what. Oh, okay. This is a weird, random. I don't know what makes me think of this. So my old house in when I was in college, and I lived with my friend in Piscataway, New Jersey. Shout out. So once upon a time, the breaker blew, and it would like go all the time, but it was like old school. You know how you like screw in the whatever?
Yeah, right? the fuse, glass fuse.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's me and Tommy and myself, right? We are forced to go down in the basement, all right? Because it's raining out. I think it was like October or maybe March, but it was like cool. It was cold, So lights go out, and it's an old raggedy house. We didn't have the internet, so lights go out, and it's just me and him. And I'm like, bro, the breaker's out. Where are those little things? All right, open the basement door.
Yeah,
flooded.
Oh no!
Like shin deep, deep.
Like the sump pump went out and the water just started rising. Yeah,
right?
No.
So now I'm like, that sucks. But I don't really think about it. Whatever. I'm just gonna go through the water. You know what I mean? I'm in college. It's fine. To hell with it. Dirty feet. Who cares? So I walk down, freezing cold, and I'm like, Tommy, you're going with me, right? So it's me and him standing there, dark basement. He's got the light. I got the fuse. And then it occurs to me, I don't know nothing. I don't know electricity.
You're standing in water.
I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then I looked at him.
And you're in college too?
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
It was a different time. These were simpler times 20 years ago. So I looked at him and I was like, we might get electrocuted. As I turned it. But the best part was the look in his face when he's like, what? Because he didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
He was just like, put the lights back on.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, we might get electrocuted. And the look of his face as the lights went on and we didn't die.
Yeah.
I was like, whew,
yeah.
well,
Yeah. That instant death right there if something went wrong. And the funny thing is, those are old circuit breakers too. If you're talking about screwing in the little fuses, so a whole lot of things could have gone wrong.
Dude, they had the push button lights.
Yeah.
Right? So that was weird. I didn't even know what that was.
Oh,
right?
that's old school.
Better part is there was an oil for the heater.
Yeah.
Right. You got to fill up the tank, right? And I grew up, my old house had that. My parents' house had that. But it was like out in the back. I remember there was this weird thing that stuck out of the yard. And I was like, what the hell is that thing? And then eventually I learned, oh, that's where the oil guy puts the oil, right?
It sounds like
But in this house, where was it? Go ahead. Just where was the oil drum, the oil tank? That was like, by the way, like the size of the table. I mean, 7-8 foot long.
It was in the cellar.
It was in the cellar.
Yeah.
Right next to the raggedy dryer.
There's a whole lot of things that could go wrong in that
all
house.
of it's going wrong. It's all bad. All bad. But yeah, sure enough, we made it out of there alive. And I remember the oil guy came by for the first time and he was like, this is like a health hazard. Like you can't, the whole house is going to blow up.
House.
We're just like, oh, well, whatever. It's fine. So anyways, that was my life.
Yeah.
I don't even know how we got there. Oh yeah, the heaters. The heaters here. It's cold. We're going to be all stuck inside. We're all going to get the flu.
No,
It's
not
just
me.
gonna happen.
I tell you what.
About it.
I'll tell you what. It's going to be like, The Walking Dead. You guys will be all sick. I'll be kicking you out. I'll be barricading the doors. Like, leave me alone. Get away.
Have we talked about that on a podcast yet? The Walking Dead?
No.
I love the show. How deep did you get into it?
I'm almost done. I'm on the last season.
How many seasons are there?
I want to say 10, 8
10
to 10.
seasons?
Yeah, I'm almost done. So
Jesus.
this funny thing about that, I gave up after about that by the end of 8th season or whatever the second to last season was.
Okay.
And then it was maybe 2 months ago. I kind of committed to it because I'm like, you know what? I went 8 seasons. I went that long watching this.
Yeah.
I got to finish this. I got to see what happens. Plus, I do want to watch some of the follow-up series.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I can't watch that until I finish it. So,
Right.
yeah, but I'm glad I did because I think they're doing a really good job in the last couple seasons.
Did it get so?
It's getting good.
The memes that come off of that, by the way, are hilarious. Like when what's homie's name? Rick. Right?
Yep.
When his wife with the baby and the son's got to get the baby out. Bro. I mean, first of all, that scene was like, Jesus, that's so heavy, man. That is so heavy. What a scene. But then here we are years later, and the like in the jiu-jitsu world, there's a lot of memes where like, it's something like you'll trade the gi because there's like a big thing with the no gi guys and then the gi guys, and so it's like you find out it's something like Rick finds out in the meme. It's like my son has been training no gi the whole time or something, and it's a scene where he's like really crying, like his son had to kill his mom. It's endless. It's endless. But besides the memes, I gave up on it, man, because the whole premise. Look, if you're a zombie, you're rotting.
Right.
Your body is decaying.
Yeah.
How long does a decaying body really have?
How long does it last? But I mean, you do have to suspend like reality. Because there are a lot of holes that I have, but I have to overcome it just to just enjoy the fantasy, enjoy the storyline and the challenges and the interpersonal struggles and you have to like look past that because you're right. I mean, by the way, it is The Walking Dead. I mean, already.
No, fair enough.
When was the last time you saw a walking zombie? Was it
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
It's been a long time.
So you do have to suspend.
Sure. That's a fair point, right? If you're already in for zombies, then if you're looking for logistics on that, all right.
So for my one thing is, remember that one character where she discovered that if you rip off the jaw of the zombie, that they won't attack you, but then she leads them on leashes.
Michonne.
Michonne, yeah. Well, I was thinking, well, if that's the case, why don't you just everybody have their pet zombie? Like,
Just rip off the jaw.
Yeah, just if they break down the barricades, you're like, okay, bring out your pet zombie. They're not going to be touched.
Yeah.
You don't even have to put the blood and the guts all over you. You just walk around with the zombies. Or remember that one tribe where they realized if they put like the mask on and stuff,
and they were quiet,
right?
With that one lady,
yeah, like the skinwalkers or something like that. I forget what they're called. But like, okay, they solved it. Put on, get yourselves a mask.
Just on some other practicalities in terms of that lady. I know it's the zombie apocalypse, and you got to get it in where you get it in. I'm not mad at you, but that's a bridge too far.
Yeah,
because you know that lady wasn't showering. You know what I mean?
Right.
That is
dark
business, bro. Yeah. Even if it's years gone by. Like,
well, listen. You have an invite to our house if the zombie apocalypse happens, but you got to get to work. Like you're not just getting like a free ride in our house. We got a barricade. Kumbaya. Yeah, we got a barricade because I got fencing around our acreage, but like we need to actually put higher barricades.
No, you
right?
need. Okay,
we need. So I need to get strong, capable men who can help to build a barricade around
strategy.
Yeah, okay. We got chickens for eggs.
We're treating the zombie apocalypse like we do marketing around here. Right? We're gonna have strategy. We got the techniques.
Yes.
So here's what we're gonna do. There's a major highway so far down the road. Right. First of all, we dynamite it.
Agreed. The bridge that's like maybe 1,000 feet away. That goes right away.
Done.
Because I think our greatest threat is going to be the street that's right in front of my house. All these
other
so we got to dynamite that thing, and you're right. Just destroy all the roads. That's the first thing.
Yeah. It's going to be, and I'll tell you who it's going to be. It's like, you know who it's going to be, bro. They're going to be like military already. They're going to be like, they're going to have certain philosophies that they're going to want to bring back. Probably militia pamphlets in their back pocket. Right, those are the first ones you got to worry about. Yeah. So it's going to be them, and they're going to be well armed. Yeah. So we got to go guerrilla warfare. Yep. Right, attacking them with like blow darts. You know what I mean? Something wild. Right. Yeah, we got to get good with that. We don't have the military might. We don't have the power. Yeah. So it's got to be like sneaky tactics, like like attacks at night. Yep. That'll be our thing.
Yep. I think. Well, the good thing is we have a number of dogs that can bark and warn us.
Yeah.
Right, so that's good.
But we got chickens. Attract the zombies, though.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah,
we could pull their tongues out or something.
What are you talking about? That's terrible.
Listen, we have chickens.
We can get pull eggs. Out their tongues. Yes.
We get chickens to give us eggs, so at least we have food.
We have food.
There's a cellar. We'll have to start stocking up the cellar.
Yeah,
and at least the women in our lives, they're strong and capable. I mean, they're not. Yeah. They could hold their own.
Reliable in a zombie.
I mean, Shannon's bakery is called Brawlin' Bakery.
Brawlin' Bakery.
She better be able to, handle her own.
She's been meaning to have this zombie apocalypse.
Yeah,
She's been waiting on it.
Yeah. But Lily's capable. The kids, they're gonna have to. Reed's gonna have to grow up really fast
real fast.
Yeah.
I don't know what that looks like.
You got to put down a guitar with your kids and start teaching them hand-to-hand combat and weaponry.
Yeah, how to de-jaw a zombie, just in case.
I'm serious.
I'm a big fan. I don't know how we're just launching into the zombie apocalypse, but I love. Zombie movies, right? My favorite. So I'm a Romero zombie guy, right? I like even the art director who the makeup guy who his name escapes me right now. Rick, I think his first name actually. Rick Baker. And then others like I love the zombie genre. I like even like the existential kind of thing that's going on. If the zombies represent. I think it's like kind of a statement on like society and the easily led, the sheep of society. Very cool.
Oh yeah,
very cool.
That's what I enjoy the most is kind of seeing the interpersonal conflicts. Yeah. Or how do you know if you could trust somebody or not trust somebody?
Yeah. And when the stakes are so high.
Each camp has their own different kind of leader, if you notice, and their leadership style is different. Yeah. So I really enjoy it.
Yeah. 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 I dig it. Dig it. But I like I like to remember when I saw like 28 Days Later. right? If you remember that one, it was like 2001.
Yeah.
Something like that. With running, rabid zombies.
Yeah. Dude, if the zombies were running zombies, like I just give up.
I'm not prepared for
Forget
that,
about
man.
blowing up the street. I will lay in the middle of the street. I'm done.
I can't. World
Walking
War Z,
zombies, I think
thing.
I could, deal with that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's more my pace. I'm glad none of it's going to happen. I'm glad, but yeah.
You never know what we're going to talk about in Don Draper's Den, We went from
talking
heaters to The Walking Dead.
Zombies, man. What else
Hey, you know what?
That's where ideas come from.
Invitation is extended.
So, anyways, I think I'm going to get sick. I just warn you now. I've been consuming a lot of YouTube as I've not been feeling all that great this week. A little bit of downtime. The politics, I'm so tired of it.
Yeah.
Right. We're how many days out? It doesn't matter. I don't care. I don't want to talk about it. We're done.
Yeah.
I've already done our piece on
I'm just
that.
counting down right at this point. I'm done.
Yeah.
I already know what I'm going to do, and I can't influence anybody else at this point.
No. And I don't want to, right?
No.
This is America, baby.
Really.
You do what you got to do.
Yep.
I'm going to do what I got to do.
Yep.
And I'll see you afterwards.
Yeah, I'll see you on the other side.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. But I've seen there's been sports. Sports has kind of hit my YouTube recently. It's been hitting the feed. I watched a lot of YouTube. I can't avoid football around here.
Yeah.
Right? Obviously, you're a Browns fan.
Yes.
A little bit much on the Browns
No,
fan.
you can never be too much of a Browns fan. Even though they're losing, you can't be too much. I'm going
Are
to.
they?
Yeah.
Shocking.
I'll be going up this weekend. So it'll be fun. It'll be fun to watch
Pays to know the right people.
Yeah.
So I hear.
Yeah.
Little VIP or whatever.
Yeah. I might have a front row seat of watching them lose, but hey, I'm going to embrace it. I'm going to enjoy the whole.
Are they playing the Bengals?
Yeah, they're playing the Bengals. Damn. The Bungles is how I like to call it.
Is that what they say?
Yeah, that's what they say.
Just
Yes.
petty.
Yes.
So it's been some sports stuff. Fighting. I'm always watching the fighting. Bare knuckle. There's been some good knockouts. I've been enjoying that. What else? Nothing comes across. Maybe NBA, WNBA.
WNBA.
A lot of news.
See, I'm just so in mine. I get a lot of the sports stuff because I love sports. Yeah. But I also get a lot of comedy stuff and funny reels. I love that.
Chappelle.
Yeah, Chappelle stuff, Sandler, all my comedians I follow, that always pops up.
Yeah.
But I would say sports. Oh, the GOAT debate between who's the GOAT, Michael Jordan or LeBron James, always pops up because
Kobe's in it.
No, he's not, dude.
I don't know anything about it. Right?
Yeah.
I'm just telling
stop.
you.
You're not even a sports guy.
That's the one I just saw 2 days ago. I don't even know who was debating it.
Yeah.
I forget who it was.
So for the longest time, a little thing about that. For the longest time, I always would say that, of course, Michael Jordan's the GOAT.
Right.
But then I started you know what? I think I'm just saying that because everybody says that. So then I started researching, well, let's deep dive in this. And boy, did I open up a whole can of worms. So now my YouTube feed is everything about who's the GOAT and why this guy or that guy.
So who's the GOAT?
Oh, LeBron James. I've concluded after everything is LeBron James.
All I know is when I see the little stats
Don't hurt me
added
in
up,
the comments, by the way.
the stats added up. I see Jordan's got a lot more going on.
No, he
there.
doesn't got a lot more.
Anyways, I don't know.
You know what he's got a lot more
going
on? Is he's the greatest of all time shoe salesman. That's what I was saying. So, I'm gonna get a lot of hate on that.
Damn. All right.
That's what he should be called.
The greatest
GOATS.
shoe salesman.
GOATSS, the greatest of all time shoe salesman. Because listen, without Nike, could you imagine if he signed with Adidas or Reebok or something, or Converse,
British Knights or something? Okay.
yeah, right.
All right.
He wouldn't have had this. But man, he signed with Nike, and Nike was hungry, and Nike just blew up because of their deal with Michael Jordan, and with that came all the commercials and all that. Now, granted, I'm not trying to take away from his talent. Everybody knows Michael Jordan is amazing, and he deserves everything that he got.
Talk trash to him.
So I'm not going to go there, but. if he didn't have the marketing effort at that time, he wouldn't have had.
It's just a marketing push.
Absolutely, marketing was huge, right? But then by the time LeBron James comes, you know, in a world of social media where everybody's talking trash about LeBron James, we didn't have that.
Right.
Talk trash about Michael Jordan. We had no social media.
Right.
We were basically spoon fed what we need to learn about Michael Jordan, you know, and nobody had like the shoe deal like MJ back then until he came. Now, okay, LeBron James has his shoe deal, but it's like nothing special. Been there, done that. Michael Jordan's already done that. Yeah. So he had a lot of that marketing and product and media attention that was controlled media and spoon fed to us. But now LeBron James, no matter what he does, because of social media and naysayers, people are trashing him on social media like they actually their opinion matters. You know, it's just not it's not the same. But when you look at it and all what he's accomplished and his longevity and his stats and his records and everything else, dude.
Just imagine the comments.
I want it. Bring it.
Just because those are rabid fans, man. These are rabid fans. Like,
I know.
I'm fans of other things, and
but then they say, I mean, I could really go on forever because I have a whole. I've been researching, so I created a file on my phone.
What a nerd!
Seriously, researching why. And
I've created a file
I've always said, to be fair, I've always said Michael Jordan's the GOAT. But I'm like, you know what? I think I'm only saying that because, you know, perception, marketing, Nike, commercials. Of course he's the GOAT, right? That's what you see. That's what you're taught.
Isn't there an amount?
Then I'm like, I don't know why I say that. And
what do they win they have a 7-game series, and then they win the what?
They win their trophy.
The trophy, the playoffs, right?
Yeah, in the playoffs, yeah.
And that makes it champion of the world. That's not the freaking world, guys. It's the USA. Let's not bullshit ourselves. Anyways, but then they get a ring, right?
Yeah.
And then they can, like football players, they were like, 6 rings or whatever they say. But then doesn't he have more rings, the guy, or no? Is that
but am I messing that up? Exactly, you're right. He has more rings than LeBron James.
But you're saying a team.
But the problem is, if you can't go by rings because Ori has more rings than Michael Jordan, and who's he exactly? Right? Bill Russell has more rings than Michael Jordan.
My uncle Bill had a friend named Ori, who's an old Italian man.
So like, you can't use those arguments because other people have had more rings than him, right? So it's not the ring. So then you have to break it down, like as far as the competition. Well, you know, the competition that Bill Russell had versus who was way back in the day versus Michael Jordan, you know, wasn't the same. Well, yeah, but the competition that LeBron James has now versus what Jordan had is not the same. You know, so they say, oh yeah, but you know, they make up all these reasons. It's weak now. It's not weak now. Like they think that
the NBA is weak.
Yeah, they thought that the players were stronger back then versus now. It's like no,
they were just. It seems like they were rougher. They're more violent. Yeah, just like in football. Right, I mean, those men, like, you know, they'd win a bar fight just as quick as they'd win a damn football game back in the 70s.
Yeah, and also it's like when you think of a basketball player too, and like, and all that comes around, like LeBron James has shown himself to be a better leader. He's been more, a team player than MJ. MJ was a dick, you know, to his teammates.
But LeBron, you know what? He did see in Dennis Rodman. Something that nobody else saw. I didn't know that, and then I found that interesting because I don't know anything about it. All I remember is being a kid, and the Chicago Bulls were it. I graduated high school in '99, so that's 8th grade in '95, and they were it. And I remember Rodman evidently couldn't shoot a ball to save his life.
Yeah, he was there to rebound.
The
and he was
only
amazing
thing he's doing
to rebound.
Is getting the rebound, which I learned. Like
that's second chances, third chances at the hoop if you could rebound.
Right.
You know,
and on so offense, Jordan.
So, anyways,
great leader. All right.
Yeah. So I have conversations with friends of mine, and it gets heated.
Jordan fans.
It gets heated, but I was too until I broke everything down. I was like, it's a no-brainer to me.
Damn.
But I will say, Michael Jordan is the greatest of all time.
Shoe salesman. Damn. So it's like Al Bundy from Married with Children is probably the greatest.
Yeah.
His one-liners are amazing. And then it's Michael Jordan.
Right.
In terms of shoes. Wow, bro.
I've broken it down based off of stats. I've broken it down based off of what other players in the league have been saying, because of course they're the ones. Who am I? I've never played against them, but you got to hear what the actual guy said.
Status.
People, yeah. I've broken it down in terms of influence. I've looked at it in terms of like rule changes. Did they change rules to adapt for each player, which they did?
Yeah.
I've broken, and then people say, "Oh, LeBron James just cries and he whines, all the time because he gets fouled."
Yeah.
I even have like videos of all the times like Michael Jordan was crying when he got fouled, and they can't use those arguments. And so now I've gone to the other side where now I'm adamantly a LeBron James fan.
Damn, man.
Yeah.
I'm not that passionate.
Then you add to the mix that I'm a Clevelander, and everybody downs Cleveland and Ohio, and now it's like, you know what? Forget all the stats, forget everything. I don't care. LeBron James is the best.
Because what's on where's LeBron from again?
He's from Akron,
right?
Which is then he played down, but he played for Cleveland.
Oh, I see. Okay, gotcha.
At one point, he won a championship through Cleveland.
I'm sure there's a lot of people are like, Chris is one ignorant bastard right now because I don't know.
You live in a cave. That's okay.
I live in a cave where I watch men fight. That's what we want to see. Look, ball games are all exciting until the fight breaks out.
But that's like, you didn't start with jiu-jitsu since like recently, like within the past decade, right?
Within the past decade, yeah.
I mean, like,
what was I doing before then?
Right, were kids playing basketball? Weren't you like
I played a little football backyard with the kids in the neighborhood, little street tackle. But
my upbringing, man, it was every day playing sports.
Nope.
You run into the house, drop your book bag, you head out to the fields, and you're throwing the ball. You're playing hoops. That was my childhood.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I mean, I play a little, but it was music, man. It was like I was a very isolated kid too. And I grew up playing the sticks, so like it would just be like I had one friend.
Yeah, playing basketball would get boring.
Just music all day.
Well, I can appreciate that. That's cool.
Yeah.
You're being resourceful.
Yeah. Yeah. That's one way to put it. Or it's just kind of a lonely nerd, whatever.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's in my YouTube feed is a lot of sports.
Yeah.
And all that. But also, I've been following Caitlin Clark. Speaking of like MJ and what he's done for the NBA.
Bro.
I've been like following Caitlin Clark and what she's done. She's like she's such a huge influence. An influencer.
I know
WNBA.
her name.
Yeah.
And evidently, I don't even know where LeBron James, the greatest of all time, came from. Right?
Right.
So, I know, she just seems to have blown up. Like, I can't remember all the stats, but the numbers that, like, the impact.
Yeah.
To where you see, like, before there was this many people, and now there's that many people.
Oh, yeah. She's packing stadiums.
What?
She's packing stadiums.
Yeah.
Viewership is on ABC.
Yeah,
is skyrocketed when she plays, and that started when she was in college basketball too. When she was in in the playoffs, man, those games were electrifying.
Right.
I didn't even care about women's basketball, but I just had to watch because you cannot not watch her because she is so phenomenal.
Right.
Her talent is just amazing.
Yeah.
So it's interesting too because before she came on the scene, I remember doing a little bit of a research about the WNBA. It's weird because I have all these random thoughts and inquiries, and so I start like deep diving.
Sure.
And so I started thinking about like WNBA before she came on the scene, and I was trying to, like, from a marketer's perspective, I was trying to think of how would I improve the viewership and get more people interested in WNBA. And as I was doing that, I remember I locked in on this video that Shaquille O'Neal made where he was asked that question, like, do you have any advice on how to improve the WNBA?
He said lower the rim.
He said lower the rim.
Right, yep.
He said lower the rim. And his whole thing was, in volleyball, for example, women's volleyball, they lower the net. Why not lower the rim so that the girls can be able to slam dunk? Because the slam dunks is like in NBA.
It seems super fun to do.
Right. It's fun to do. It's electrifying. But no, that's not what they did.
I don't know the average height either in the WNBA. Obviously, they're smaller than the men, right?
I think like last time I looked, Caitlin Clark was 6 foot, 150
like
pounds.
6 even.
Yeah. But she But she doesn't dunk. We know what she does. She does like Steph Curry. She shoots like logo threes. She shoots.
Just learn what that means.
Yeah,
closer to the logo.
You're right.
Than the 3-point line.
And so they don't need a dunk. They just but when she just launches
like
that in the air, it's a sniper.
Those are Larry Bird moments. So I watch.
It's what unreal.
I like the Jason Williams highlights because I think his interviews are hilarious, right? And so I had, for no good reason at all, I just find his personality hilarious. And then I'm like, who the hell is that guy? And then I'm like, White Chocolate. Oh yeah,
dude, yeah, White Chocolate.
I remember that name.
Oh yeah,
right. And so anyway, so that's kind of my to watching old sports, but mostly from when I was a kid, right? And they're kind of like heroes in my mind still. And I see similar things in her, you know, where I'm like, oh, that's like 1 in a million stuff. Like, nobody's done that.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Yeah.
That's the part of it where even I'm like, holy shit, how?
Yeah.
Right?
That's great. Electrifying.
Makes me
and so
watch.
people from all over, my brother, he lives out in Michigan.
Yeah.
And I saw he sent a text, during the season, and he had a Indiana Fever Caitlin Clark jersey. What?
I couldn't have told you. I can barely tell you a basketball team, let alone the WNBA.
Yeah.
Like, I guess
Yeah.
so. I hope they're doing well. But now I know the Fever.
Yep.
I heard of that one. Right?
Yeah. Because of one person,
Right.
And it's wild. And then she's handling it so gracefully. I mean, have you seen any of the clips where she's getting like beat up on court? Like elbow to the face. There's this one clip. Did you see that one clip where she get hit and she like rolled like 15 feet to the center of the court? I'm like, come on.
I saw the one where it was the block and then the snake bite little bit to the eye.
To the eye?
What are you doing, man?
Right? Yeah.
Like, how is...
Yeah. And yet she takes it so gracefully. She's not like...
It's all about the game.
It's all about the game,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
I mean, she's a good... It seems like she's a great role model for young girls, right? She's a great role model for everybody. I mean, how she handles her and how she's professional.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Yeah.
So fascinating
Gatorade
to watch.
Seems to think so, right?
Did you see that commercial?
22 million off of that. Is that the one? No, that's Nike got the 22 million. But she's in the Gatorade commercial.
Yep.
And like their point in that one was great commercial, by the way. It's like she did it, you can do it too.
Yep. Empowering women, right? Empowering the next generation.
Right.
I love that stuff.
Yeah. And that next generation coming up, like I don't know this part, right? But whatever her accuracy is with regard to hitting that basket, and from wherever that might be, I don't know. I've seen a whole bunch of 3-pointers, but maybe she's got just as many layups. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Right. But whatever that looks like, I bet that the girl who's going to break those records isn't that far behind right now. Right. So who's the guy who broke what was like the 4-minute mile or 5-minute mile? It was like this running record where it's like, oh, nobody's ever going to beat that.
Like,
and then somebody
Usain Bolt, or I'm sure it was broken
like a long
since.
time ago.
Okay.
Long time ago.
Yeah.
And so somebody breaks that, however many minute mile, right? And then subsequently, it's broken like more frequently.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So it's like this long.
Because you know why? I think that's because, for example, in the Caitlin Clark story, she has demonstrated possibility.
Yes.
It's possible.
That's
It's possible. And not only that, she's modeled it. So now young girls can practice in their home court, and just model the shot off of Caitlin Clark.
Right.
I mean, Steph Curry, he's changed the game on the NBA on the guy side. Why? Because he started shooting threes. Now they call it like playing small ball. Like the game has changed. Where back then a lot of the game happened under the hoop. A lot of these big guys boxing each other out, getting the rebound, slam dunking.
The Charles Barkleys of the world.
Yeah. Right? Now Steph Curry, his 3-point percentage is so high. Why settle for 2 points when you can get 3 points?
Yeah. Sure.
And so now all these teams are doing that. They're shooting more and more 3-pointers, right? Because they see, it's possible. Why don't we do that, right? You look at Caitlin Clark; she's showing young girls that it's possible. It's possible to do this, and that's what I love about the Gatorade commercial.
Yeah.
I achieved this. You can do better.
Yeah.
You know, I set a bar now that you can strive to beat.
Yeah.
Inspiring.
Yeah.
I just love it.
Yeah. All right. So what else I learned was I know that the NBA is just the biggest thing, right? Billions of dollars and all this.
Oh yeah.
Right. That spawn all the shoes that come out of the video games. I mean, just such a thing, right? I didn't know until this was prior to Caitlin Clark. Don't know really what maybe spawned the discussion in the sports world, but whatever it was, maybe it was just the women in the WNBA were just like, yeah, we're not getting paid enough, right? Which the subsequent counter to that was there's a subsidy from the NBA, which I didn't know.
Yeah.
So that there can be a league even. I'm like, all right, well, I guess good. I'm glad that there's that opportunity, right, for these athletes to do what they do. Cool, right? Good on you. But I didn't really understand kind of what that subsidy looked like and how much the women make and all of it, right? I just didn't get it. And then I learned some of the numbers, and I realized like how small the WNBA was in terms of, I guess, just pure finances. You know what I mean? Like, what are we talking about here?
Yep.
And then to see, okay, so I learned that, and then time passes, and Caitlin Clark comes along, and then to see her impact on it. Oh, that's the part where
next level.
The perspective was like, okay, that means that the attendances are like 10xing, right? That's the point where I'm like, well, God, get this lady whatever she needs.
Right. They now everybody flies charter, because of what she's accomplished.
Caviar and
unreal. They're getting more of that attention, more cameras on them.
Everybody, I'm sure, is going to get a little better deal.
Increase
sponsors,
jersey sales.
Yeah,
it's on. Yeah, and it's not like this is the first time we've seen it though. Like where somebody influences a sport, right?
Yeah,
he's Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
Tiger Woods revolutionized the image of the PGA golf.
Right.
I mean, back then it was kind of like a old white guy sport.
Just old white dudes.
At least in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I remember in college, all of a sudden, I'm watching, like, people are gathered around TV. Oh, you got to watch this guy, Tiger Woods. I'm like, who is this guy? Unbelievable.
Staggering. Yeah.
Unbelievable. In tennis, there was the Williams sisters, Serena and Venus Williams. Like,
Serena's an absolute
beast.
Monster.
Yeah,
she's
a beast,
amazing.
right? And Michael Jordan and basketball.
And then, but as it relates men's and women's sports, she what's homie with the tennis player, older white dude with a terrible temper,
John McEnroe.
All right, so he's interviewed on an ESPN or something. And he made the comment that greatest women's tennis player, Serena. I don't think anybody argues. And he's like, where would she be ranked in the men's? Something to this effect. And he's like, I don't know, probably in the 600s worldwide, something like this, which is just staggeringly offensive, right? And everybody's like, clutching pearls and how dare you and all this. Then she said as much.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. They interviewed
Serena, like Conan or a
Serena.
Letterman interview, right? And she's like, I wouldn't want to play them. What are you talking about, right? They're hitting the ball like 20 miles per hour faster.
Yeah,
it's a different sport at that point. So back to that point you made about Shaq being asked, if we were going to market it, what would you do? I don't know. Why didn't we lower the rim before? Right? It hasn't been lowered now, right? But it seems appropriate, right? Why? I mean, maybe I'm looking at it like I'm such an outsider. Is that an insult to the women playing the game?
I think part of it is that
I don't know.
It's never been done. I mean, these girls have been playing with that height of a basketball rim ever since they've been young. Right. So why all of a sudden they're adult women playing in an adult league and you're going to lower it?
Just to
make it more exciting.
Right.
Now traditionally they've always played with a smaller ball.
Yeah.
But that's been since they're young too.
Right.
Yeah, there's a women's sized ball. So to go and change that, I think it would just kind of be offensive at this point. But again, when I ask myself that question, like how would I market WNBA differently? Now looking at what happened, you find a good brand ambassador.
Yeah.
Because that's exactly what happened. They found a great brand ambassador in Caitlin Clark. Now, granted, they lucked out. Yeah. It wasn't like you can't just manufacture that out of thin air.
Right.
I mean, Caitlin Clark, since she was a kid, she was playing mixed basketball with the boys because the girls weren't good enough.
Right.
In high school, I read something where, or watched some video where in high school or her senior year or something, she was like averaging 30 points a game. Have you ever watched even a boys basketball game? Like just average boys basketball game? It's Brick City. It's like, like this is like how much longer till this game's over?
30 points.
If I was sitting in there and all of a sudden there's this girl shooting, making 30 points in the game, I'd be like, okay, I'm coming. When's the next game? I'm gonna watch this. That was phenomenal, right? That's the thing. It's unheard of. And so here, and again, WNBA can't just like all of a sudden wish for a brand ambassador, but it was years in the making for Caitlin Clark to just work her butt off, get super talented, go to school, and then there, make a big splash in Iowa, and the cameras just followed her. Next thing you know, she's in WNBA, and boom, there's your brand ambassador.
What I like, right? Who's a good example? Kind of the Mike Tyson effect. Besides Mike Tyson himself, we all know he's great. Max Holloway. Mm-hmm. Okay, Max Holloway is a UFC fighter who famously mid-fight, by the way, an animal that he's facing. There's no slouch, right? It was no, tomato can. He looked away, did a look away, fade, like I think it was a right or a left or whatever, but he landed it on the guy while the guy was coming in. He looked away. He was talking trash with the commentators of the UFC while he punched the guy in the face, saying, I'm the greatest boxer. Bah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That moment is must-see TV. Mm-hmm. You're not going to see that, but from only a few cats. Yeah. Right? Who else has that? And the women's side was Ronda
Rousey. Yeah.
Dude, it wasn't just the name, right? It wasn't that, it's always like, oh, she's pretty too. I don't give a shit if she's pretty or not. Yeah. That broad was taking arms home, right? She was doing that to everybody.
I would not want to face her in a ring, I'll tell you that.
I don't want any of that now, right? None of that. Not then, not now. So, and there's the weird thing is that in fighting, I very much see that. How can I say it? It's like how Prince, as a musician, he was just Prince. Yeah, he's not a funk player. He's not a rock player. A pop singer.
He just kind of is
right. Right. He's the purple one. Yeah. Just the same in fighting. It's like if you can fight, man or a woman, I don't know, right? But are the rules different in that? Not necessarily, but they do fight different fights. I'll tell you that. A lot less knockouts with women. They just don't have the size and power.
Right. So but so I think the question though to ask is it just sheer talent that makes them revolutionize and bring attention to the sport? Because there's certainly a lot of talented people in every sport, whether fighting or field sport or what have you.
Yeah, no.
To be a brand ambassador, to really bring that attention like Tiger Woods, what does it take?
Also, it's also how the fact that there's a lot of trash talking, which is great. I love me some trash talking. Again, Larry Bird, he's one of the greats of it, right? So Kobe, one of the greats of it. But she isn't doing that. She was,
I think in college more.
Higher ground.
Yeah. In college, I think she did more.
Yeah.
But so you think that talent and trash talking makes a brand ambassador?
I think on one hand, it makes for the Conor McGregor effect in that.
Or how about attitude?
Yes.
Not so much trash talking, but like that almost slightly arrogant, confident attitude.
Right.
How about that?
Right. Yeah. That like
makes they think that they're the greatest.
You want to see them win, because you champion their cause, or you want to see them lose. Floyd Mayweather. Everybody's hating.
You either love him or hate him.
Try to beat him.
Yeah.
Right. So but the point is that you're pulling people in.
It's hard. By the way, a side note, it's hard to beat Mayweather when he keeps running around the ring.
Damn.
Now
Floyd,
this is coming.
I support you, buddy.
This is coming.
You're
from,
good with me.
I'm getting haters. I'm going to get haters from all sides.
Jordan fans. So go ahead. Pick
Jordan
another
fans
sport.
are going to throw basketballs at my
Golly.
head. Mayweather fans are going to beat the crap out of me.
What's your opinion on Wayne Gretzky? You say nice things about him. Dude.
Wayne Gretzky's good. Yeah.
There it is.
I mean, come on.
There
Mario
it
Lemieux,
is.
Wayne Gretzky, the great hockey players.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Right.
Wayne
Oh,
Gretzky.
yeah.
Great
This is
line.
one of the best quotes.
Great line.
But I'm a Manny Pacquiao. I'm Filipino, so Manny Pacquiao fan.
You gotta, no, I respect that.
So,
you got to ride with your dude.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
But yeah. So the point is that it manifests. Let's say the tactic in their marketing plan would be the trash talk, right?
Yeah,
But
the attitude.
strategy
Yeah.
is okay. I got to pull you in, right? You're interested in what I'm doing because what I'm doing is must see TV, once in a lifetime, one in a million type stuff. And
So what else? Your talent, attitude.
yeah.
I think that you need to have a little bit of charisma.
Yeah.
You know, you got to have some sort of
You
charisma.
can't be a robot.
Right.
And just be out there.
Speaking of robot, for example, so you probably, this name won't mean anything to you probably if you didn't watch tennis, but have you ever heard of the name Pete Sampras?
No.
Okay. So now Pete Sampras in men's tennis, he came sort of after Andre Agassi.
Okay.
Right?
I remember Andre.
And it was like John McEnroe, Jimmy Connors, Andre Agassi then came on. He was a little bit younger than them.
Right.
And then as they started fading away, then Pete Sampras came.
Okay.
Pete Sampras was a stud, dude. Like
Yeah.
his talent unparalleled. His speed of his serves
Right.
wildly fast.
Right.
But he was criticized because he was just a robot, like in front of the camera. Yeah, he had like no personality.
Where was he from?
He was in the U.S., but I don't know where in the U.S.
Okay, gotcha.
But no personality, and he was so heavily criticized with that. Like, and I think partly is because tennis needed some sort of a brand ambassador, and here's this guy who's like the greatest, and he had like no personality whatsoever. He was heavily criticized.
You couldn't market him. You can't take advantage of the moment.
Yeah. Then Roger Federer comes on the scene, and all these like studs, and it's like, okay, right? But I think charisma is important too. You got to have some sort of a personality, charm, right? Mike Tyson had charm.
It's a weird thing is in his, so under Customato a million years ago, right? He almost seemed, because I've watched a lot, like he seemed super, super intense, right? He's from a rough place and a rough time, and Customato really didn't do anything to like dampen that, right? He aggravated it almost and just directed this dangerous man to the boxing ring. But he was intimidating. And then the total juxtaposition of how he spoke, right?
Yeah.
I mean, thankfully his voice is a bit more gruff and deep these days.
Yeah.
But and I'm used to it because I hear him talk now so much.
Yeah.
Podcasts and interviews and everything else. But back then, what a weird juxtaposition that was.
Yeah.
You hear him speak, you're like,
yeah.
Mike, that's your voice?
Yeah.
What?
Right.
But anyways, it was interesting.
But he had good charisma.
He had character.
He still,
to him.
good character, good charisma.
And then his evolution was Cuss dies, right? And that whole, it gets dark for him. And then there's bad people around him, and he's losing himself, and he's a journey. And that has its own thing.
Right.
Now you're just like, Jesus, this guy's on the loose.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to get this guy out of here. Like this is too much. But it's still marketable.
It's still marketable.
And he got fights.
Yeah.
He bit off ears.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And now here he is, an older athlete.
Yep. Doing like musicals.
Yeah.
Right.
And podcasts.
Yeah. Yeah. Podcasts.
It's a weird evolution, but the point is, you're right. Yeah. He always had that personality.
You gotta have
available.
good personality.
Yeah.
You have to have the attitude that you are the best. You gotta have the talent to back it up. If you don't have talent, it doesn't matter.
Right.
One good example on the WNBA side is, the Magic Johnson to Caitlin Clark, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird.
Yeah.
The Magic Johnson to Caitlin Clark would be Angel Reese, I think.
Yeah, okay.
But like,
I recognize the name.
she's all attitude but has no talent. Like her points, the only time she, the whole joke about her is she's only scoring points off of her rebounds she's making off of her missed shots.
Damn.
So she has like some of the highest rebound percentage than anybody, but it's off of her own missed shots, and then she makes the shots. And so okay, but she is the antithesis, if you will, of Caitlin Clark.
The magic to the bird.
Which then brings up something else, I think.
Yeah.
I think you need to have
you need a good villain, man.
A villain.
Yeah. There's no Batman.
Right. I think,
Unless
like,
you
for
have the
example,
Joker.
right. I think, like, in Tiger Woods' case, right,
Okay.
the villain could have been like, here is this, like, the old, like, kind of the way of doing things in golf and the white folks in golf.
Yeah.
And then here comes, you know, an African American who's dominating the scene.
Yeah.
Same thing with the Williams, right?
Little mixed dude.
Right.
Yeah.
You look at, like, a Mayweather and a Pacquiao.
Yeah.
Again, they're like villains. Who's going to win? Which, by the way, little side punch. Mayweather waits how long before he finally takes a fight? Come on now.
I agree with you.
Come on now. And then, have you ever seen the meme where I gotta show you this? Have you ever seen the meme? So you know the Mike Tyson Punch Out?
Yeah.
Right. You play that game, right? Nintendo.
Right.
Well, they did one where like, you know, Tyson is like Mayweather.
Okay.
And so he's like bouncing around the gym, the ring, and then like the little character is Pacquiao.
Yeah.
And like round after round, the little character is chasing Mayweather around the ring.
Damn.
And he just keeps like, and then at the final round, he comes in, boom,
That's it.
knocks him out. Like, anyway, see, Again, don't get me on this stuff because whether it's, I'll just say it, LeBron James is better than MJ, Manny Pacquiao, especially if they're playing a fight and actually Mayweather actually fought.
If that's a whole different fight, right? Because if them two fight more in their prime, right? But they never do that in boxing.
No, they
that's
don't.
why I hate boxing.
Yeah,
because I never get the fight I want to see.
Yeah,
they're always waiting, and dude's out of his prime. He's got a bad shoulder, and now you beat him. Well, I don't care.
But I'll tell you one thing. I think Pacquiao was a better brand ambassador and better marketing for
oh my God!
How do you not like Manny
Everything
Pacquiao?
else he did,
he's always smiling, even as he's boxing. He's like punching you in the face. Like,
everything's great.
In fact, he was like not even towards the end of his career. He wasn't even knocking people over because he just felt bad, hurting people.
but as a personality, oh my God, dude, he is
not like Manny Pacquiao.
Everybody at home loves the
and then
it's amazing.
And now he's a senator or he's in politics. Talk about a brand ambassador, right? I think so. Another one is taking responsibility.
Yeah.
Right? Manny Pacquiao is a good example of that. He took responsibility. He sees that, okay, I've been blessed and given this talent.
Yeah.
Right? To win and to get money.
Yeah.
And what ends up happening? He donates his money and he builds villages in the Philippines. Right?
Yeah.
He was fighting against, who's that guy? Desert Storm. And he lost. It was controversial. I watched that. There's no way he lost.
Yeah.
Right after, he didn't even like complain. He said, because there was like a typhoon of some sort or whatever to hit Philippines and devastation. He wasn't even thinking about the loss. He just said, "I gotta go," and he donated all his money to those villages and help rebuild. He's like, "There's a bigger picture here than whether I lost or this controversy." You know, and again, so I think they're good brand ambassadors who really impact a sport, in this case, like Caitlin Clark. They also see that they have an obligation. They have a responsibility to be to hold that mantle and do it in a way that's honoring to the sport, right, and also a way that inspires the next generation.
Yeah, kind of propel that forward. In jiu-jitsu, I know that there's only so many black belts on earth right now. Legitimate black belts of a lineage, right? From dude to dude to dude. And then there are even significant, there's just a fraction of people that have red belts.
Yeah.
And in the Gracie tradition, I think others as well. This red belt is like, you've not only mastered the craft and done so by that point decades ago, right? To a degree. But then once you get that belt, you've had an impact in some other way, right, such that you've moved the sport the lifestyle, the culture of jiu-jitsu forward into just something else.
Right. And that's also part of the responsibility. You have a responsibility of evolving and moving the sport in a good direction, right? Like, I think I remember hearing, I think it may have been Peyton Manning, like one of his objectives, like to handle this sport with care and to like make sure that when he left it in a good place.
Yeah.
You know, when he was gone, right? Because there's an obligation there that he saw. It's higher than just a sport. Because if you just break down, it's just he's just making money throwing a pigskin around. No, it's more than that, right? And he saw that. Yeah. And so I think that's what it takes to be a brand ambassador, and why people want to sponsor her, why Nike and Gatorade want to sponsor her, because she is a good image. Caitlin Clark, in this case, is a great image for the masses, and for young women. Now, of course, Gatorade just wants to increase sales, right?
Get that money. I'm not mad.
But team up with the ones that have a good image, good charisma, good attitude, the right attitude, the winning attitude, and then has that responsible, right?
Yeah, what ultimately is marketable. What can they take on the road, and if it especially if it has longevity, right? Rather than, that's an unfortunate thing when it's like you're just attached to winning.
Yep.
Because, dude, once you stop winning, nobody cares.
Yep.
And if you're an asshole, everybody's waiting. They're lined up to hate you
after winning.
Right?
Yeah.
Like the second you're done winning, they're like, you're always a bum anyway. Like, jeez, man.
Yeah.
That sucks. So yeah, no, there's this weird, that's interesting, man. There's a weird kind of slingshot effect, or like you're going to have to pay for it one way or the other if you don't have all those things in a row. And you know what? If you don't have a personality and you're just being in your authentic self and like you just happen to be really good at something, and otherwise you're like, I don't know, leave me alone. I'm going back to my house with my family, right? And you don't cause any trouble. The world isn't mad at you. They just let you go.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for your contribution to the sport. Peace out. Good luck. But man, if you're trying to make that splash and you got a lot of attitude, the haters just line up.
Yep.
They can't wait for you to fail.
But that fuels the story.
Right.
That fuels the story. Like even like all the greats all have haters.
Fact.
Right?
Even Taylor Swift.
And you need that. There's a whole segment we could talk about in terms of how to create a good brand. And part of that, one of the principles, is you need those naysayers. You need those the competition. You need the people who is going to challenge, or else who cares?
That's a fact.
Who cares about that brand?
That's
and it could be not just a brand ambassador of a sport. It could be a company brand or a product. Who
All
cares if there's nothing out there to compete with it?
Sales guys within the same company, right? Like, frickin' Dave, he beat my numbers last month.
Right.
He's been talking trash about me to my wife, behind my back. Yeah. How common is that story, right? And then like that dude gets up every day if he's in it for real. And he's got like a picture like Rocky does of Drago and Rocky 4. He's got the picture of dude in the mirror. It's like, Dave, I'm coming for you, bro.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we need that, man. That's that David, he put out a book fairly recently, like just talking about your enemy. You know your enemy. Otherwise, I don't know, man. Maybe, they're the gravity that pulls us forward to a degree. Right? It can't take your life over, but yeah, man. And now I think Caitlin Clark, to close it out, is on her way to Europe.
No, I don't think so.
That's what I saw. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think that's just people
rumor
just
mill?
Rumor mill gossiping about that. I don't think that's just going to happen. If they did, I wouldn't blame her if it did happen with the way that WNBA treated her, with the way that the Olympic Committee, we haven't talked about that, how the Olympics didn't even like have her on the women's basketball team. Come on, that's a worse. Like, I agree with Magic Johnson once was recorded saying that that's a terrible business decision, or was it Charles Barkley even saying that's a terrible business decision? It's just business. It's one of those two, or Stephen A. Smith. Yeah, it's a business decision. She's on the rise. Everybody's watching her. Put her on your team, just like the Dream Team put Christian Laettner on their team.
Right.
Who is Christian Laettner on the Dream Team?
Right.
Right, he won the finals for Duke in March Madness for college basketball, and he had a lot more, attention, and so they put Christian Laettner on the Dream Team.
Right.
He's no Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Christian Laettner. They did that for business reasons, to get more eyeballs on the team, right? Huh. Then that's what Magic Johnson was saying, and Stephen A. Smith and Charles Barkley. It's just a business decision. Why didn't they do that? So I wouldn't blame Caitlin Clark for going to Europe if that were true.
Yeah.
Because it's like the league, they're beating you up.
Right.
the Olympic Committee didn't even select you.
Right.
They waited so long to announce to even acknowledge that she was Rookie of the Year. I mean, it's just so many reasons why.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't blame her, but I do think that I don't think she would do that because, again, a good brand ambassador sees that she has an obligation and responsibility. If she goes there, you're leaving behind all the influence you can have on all these young people.
Home, I mean, it's home, man.
It's home, but still, if they're going to pay you a lot, why not, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, there's again, good brand ambassadors sees that they have something more than money and something even more home. There's a higher purpose, and I think she would see that if she were to go there, she would lose all that purpose and that purpose in the States, and so she would stay. So I would be really surprised if she left.
Yeah.
It's kind of similar to like when she graduated out of college or when she went into the draft, did you know like Ice Cube?
Yeah.
He has his big 3 competition.
Yeah, the 3-man league.
He proposed, hey, I'll offer you millions of dollars for you to play in the big 3.
Really?
To promote. And it's like, yeah, sure. Hey, she could get all this money.
Yeah.
Right. But again, there's an obligation that I think she has. Like, she wants to play in the WNBA, but moreover, like, she could have an impact there. What's she going to do in playing against old retired stars in a big 3?
Right.
Other than to make all this money. She certainly could, and nobody would blame her. Except that, you lost the opportunity to usher in a new generation of basketball stars in the WNBA league, and I think she sees that, and so I think she'll stay true to that character, and she'll stay because again, she's a good brand ambassador for the league, and that's why I think WNBA should be glad to have her.
Yeah.
She's
even though it feels
amazing.
like they're kind of dropping the ball,
lowering the rim. What?
Man. All right.
Yeah,
all right. That feels right.
Yeah,
that feels like a good spot. Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm curious to see what she'll do. Maybe we'll have an update in a couple episodes of Caitlin Clark. Yeah.
Yep. Cool.
All right, let's get out of here on that. I like it. So we'll try the cold out. From the iconic age of advertising to the digital age. Wait, what is it?
Iconic era.
Iconic era. All right, we'll try it again. Here we go. Don't cut it. From the iconic era of advertising to the digital age. I'm Chris.
And I'm Ernie.
Keep it legendary.